Kon is a 6'7", 6'10" wingspan, averaged 14.4 points, 4 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 48% from the floor, 40% from three. Sharpshooter, in one word for Kon.
Yeah, let's actually get his full measurements here because he didn't compete at the combine. He's got a rolled ankle. Okay. It happened at some point.
Yeah,
and his agent said he was only 85%, so he didn't do any of like the athletic testing, but he did do measurements. 6'5" barefoot, so a little bit shorter. 220. 6'6" and a half or 6'6" and a quarter wingspan, so he's kind of a little bit of dinosaur arms, and then 8.5 inch standing reach. So the physical profile from a height and wingspan measurement isn't like elite,
no,
but 6'5" is almost 6'7" in shoes, 6'6" and a half is not terrible by any means. He has a chance. He probably profiles as the best shooter in the draft. But let's break down what that actually means because there's a lot of different ways in which he shoots that I think are interesting. Catch and shoot, I do believe he's the best player in the draft.
Absolutely.
Like if he's open, that thing's going in.
Yes.
Coming off screens, he's got some of that as well. I think that's where he's interesting. He's not super efficient off the dribble in any sense of the word. So like if he's running pick and roll, which we need to get into in a minute and how good he is at running pick and roll. If you go under, he did not punish teams for going under and then like dribbling into the three and killing you. The way Jazz fans will remember, like that's where Joe Ingles became an NBA player.
Yes.
Was Joe could run pick and roll with Rudy Gobert at an elite level, and if you gave him any space, Joe was going to hit a three.
Yeah.
And that was like, it was awesome. It was a great play. And then because Joe had such bad physical limitations, at least athletic limitations, you had to be up on him, and then he could drive past you off of a good screen, and then he was dangerous because he could kick out either direction. There is a ton of that in Kon Knueppel's game.
Oh, absolutely.
Like he is going to destroy teams as a pick and roll ball handler with a good screener. He did it with Common Malawash at Duke, but you put him with Walker Kessler and Walker's ability to catch lobs and how good he's done that, how well he's evolved into that type of player. A Kon Knueppel, Walker Kessler pick and roll is going to be an elite play for the Utah Jazz as long as he can start to hit some of those threes off the dribble. He just didn't take a whole lot at Duke. It was a low numbers, like 30 threes off the dribble, which like we'll talk about Trey Johnson in a minute. Like that's his bread and butter. That's what he does super well. Kon does not do that super well at this level.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. He is almost entirely catch and shoot. I think that's the sort of thing that a lot of people are like, there's been a lot of talk, is he Dalton Connect? Is he a glorified Dalton Connect? And I just think that the differences there are striking. Yes, they're both shooters, and that's where they make their money and where they're going to make their money in the NBA. But I think that Kon, both offensively and defensively, has so much of a higher IQ as, an 18, 19-year-old?
Yes.
So it's just going to only get better from here. So that's why he's talked about in like a top 5, if not top 8 sort of range.
40% from three overall, 43% on catch and shoot threes, 43% on guarded catch and shoot threes. So like it didn't matter if there was a hand in his face. 43% on unguarded catch and shoot. So it just didn't matter. But again, off the dribble, and this is from Red Coutier Lucas on Twitter. So I'm credit him for putting this graphic out. 14% on off the dribble threes. Now he only took 21. They played almost 40 games. That means he took one every other game, meaning like it wasn't something he even tried to do. Pick and roll ball handler 3-pointers, 2 of 15. So again, really low. That's where it's weird because he's such a good pick and roll player and such a good shooter. But off screen 3-point shooting, 38%. Free throws, 91%. Like just doesn't miss. At the rim, good 63%. Non-rim twos, 40%, which is good. That means even when he's pulling up in the mid range, he's effective.
Yeah.
True shooting percent, 64%.
Wow.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
At 50 is where you're going to find a lot of guys. He's at 64%. So it's awesome. So the shooting, that's what the shooting is.
Yes.
We talked about the pick and roll. He's not going to like blow anyone away with his first step.
No.
But at 220, he's really strong. He's a bit of a bowling ball. He only needs 1 or 2 dribbles and he gets right into the middle of the floor. He can get to the free throw line and he's just going to kill you.
Yes.
Because he'll either take one more step and get to the paint where he's a pretty good finisher. He gets a little bit like pump fake happy sometimes. He's like, I'm not super athletic, so I'm not going to dunk on anyone, so I'm just going to pump fake.
Yes.
And then he still scores. That doesn't work as well in the NBA. They block your shot. But when he just goes up off of 1 foot, he's good. He's really good playing off of 2 feet as well. And he'll just work that out of his game. He'll just like be like, well, I just got to go up quicker. I can't wait and pump fake to get my shot off like I could in high school or college. He's just going to have to go up quicker than that.
Speaking on something you said something that I was really impressed with is that whether it's on the 3-point line or when he finally gets inside, like you said, he's not very athletic, but a lot of times he'll use these shot fakes or even just like a pound dribble, take it to the side. He's crafty. Like he knows that he's not going to beat guys with his athleticism, but he uses his weight and his frame to his advantage a lot.
He's really strong.
Yes.
Like for a 19-year-old, I think he'll be 20 on draft night. Maybe he won't quite be there. He's freakishly strong.
Yeah. So I think that there is a lot of offensive upside. He's truly a shooting robot. Like if he gets into his actual motion, which is what, like you say, he's not taking like a lot of off dribble, fadeaway, stuff like that. Like when he gets set and shoots, it's automatic.
But he does not stop. He's got a crazy motor, so he's getting to those shots a lot. He's not just standing there and waiting for threes. When he's off the ball, even if he's on the weak side of the floor, like he's positioning himself to be open in a passing lane. Like he knows exactly where the ball is going to be and where he needs to be to receive that pass. And then when he catches it, he's already making the read of, do I shoot? Am I attacking a closeout? Am I passing? Like he totally gets it. He totally sees the game. His IQ is through the roof. His motor's great. His shooting's automatic. He's awesome. I know Jazz fans are a little like afraid of him right now. I'm telling you, he's an awesome player. Kon Knueppel's going to be a really good NBA player for a long time. I don't know if he's an all-star. I feel extraordinarily comfortable saying that as long as the team gets to the playoffs, and I don't mean the Jazz, any team that drafts him gets back to the playoffs, Kon Knueppel is like a playoff rotation top 6, top 7 guy, which look at the 4 teams left in the playoffs right now. They have 7 guys that they play. Like Kon Knueppel is in that group of players.
Yeah.
And if you care about winning, Kon Knueppel is a winner. Like you are going to win because Kon Knueppel's on your team. If you care about Isaiah Collier, Kyle Filipowski, Walker Kessler, Taylor Hendricks, Cody Williams, like he's going to sprinkle fairy dust on all those guys and make them all better.
Yeah.
He's that type of player. Like he is going to make every single player around him better. And it's not just like off the ball stuff. Like I watched the Georgia Tech ACC tournament game where Cooper Flagg got hurt because I wanted to see what does Kon Knueppel do when he's not playing next to a guy who has a 30% usage rate in Cooper Flagg. And he's the best player on the floor by 1,000 miles.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. And to the point where in the second half, Duke was down like 14, 16 in the first half of this game. Cooper Flagg goes out. Kon takes over. The second half, they just spam pick and roll with him over and over and over, and he just dices up Georgia Tech. Now, Georgia Tech's not good, but he's just destroying these dudes off the dribble, threes, pick and roll. It just doesn't matter. They just have no answer for him. He's going through traffic. He's drawing fouls. He's finishing at the basket. And I watched a bunch of games of him, and it's just the more you watch him, the more you're just like, this dude wins. This dude's just going to win at such a high level in the NBA. He's awesome. If you got him at 5, like I know Jazz fans aren't going to be like throwing the parade, but 3 years down the line, they're going to be like, I can't believe we got Kon Knueppel on this roster.
Yeah.
He's truly awesome.
Something I wanted to say, the way that Oscar Tshiebwe treats rebounding like a science, I feel like Kon Knueppel treats shooting as a science. Okay. Like he has it down, and I feel like he knows. I would imagine he's the type of guy that knows the exact percentage he shoots from like 10 spots behind the 3-point line.
And everyone else on the team as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I think he knows everything about what everyone's doing.
Yes.
I think he knows where everyone's at their best. Like, when I say sprinkling fairy dust on the rest of the players around him, like, he's going to be like, well, I know where I can throw Walker the ball, and I know where I can throw Bryce Sensabaugh the ball. Like, you have Bryce Sensabaugh and Kon Knueppel on the perimeters, and you're all of a sudden you're an elite shooting backcourt. Like, and that's the thing I like about Kon actually a lot. I think he can play like your third string point guard where like Isaiah Collier's in foul trouble and somebody's hurt. Like Kon's going to run the offense for you and be just fine and be 6'5", and all of a sudden he's a 6'5" point guard. And so some of his like measurement issues you're concerned about actually disappear. And then he can play threes. I think he's going to be able to guard some guys big, and we'll talk about his defense in a second. And then, you know, he kind of just projects as a natural 2-3, but like you could play him with Bryce Sensabaugh and be awesome. And you can also play him with Isaiah Collier, or if you wanted to play him at point guard for long stretches, a la like Austin Reeves, he could step in and do that as well. So I'm a big Kon Knueppel fan. I think he's the real deal.
So we've talked about the athleticism question marks, and we've also talked about how he's very smart, and we talked about offensive, and he does have that defensive IQ as well. Yeah. Where do you think he projects as an NBA defender?
You're trying to get him to be like a passable NBA defender.
Okay.
Because he's just not great athletically. He just has a short wingspan. He's not a great leaper. So that's going to hurt him. He's not ever going to be a lockdown guy. Like, that's out of the picture completely. He knows exactly where the defense is going. There is not, I watched probably 4 games. There is not I can't find a single possession where the controller turned off. Like we talk about, like he's off the ball, he's in the corner, 3-point shooter. He's not paying attention. They back cut him. I didn't see it a single time.
Yeah.
Like,
never.
Watch a quarter of NBA basketball and every guard's going to get back cut. I didn't see a single one where he gets back cut and isn't either between the ball and his man or his man and the basket. And he shades in the right spots where he's like, I know I got to bring up pressure here because I know who's guarding him. I know it's, Tyrese Proctor is going to get beat, or whoever's Sion James is going to get beat off the dribble. Like, I've got to be over there to shade to make sure he can't come to this angle. Like, he knows exactly where to be on the court on both sides of the ball at all times. And even when he's on ball, like, he knows what you're going to do, so he's going to get in your way.
Yes.
He doesn't necessarily mean he's going to lock you down, but you're not ever just going to blow him off the dribble and be like, I got a layup because Kon Knueppel's on me and he's just toast and I'm going to target him every single time. NBA teams are going to challenge him, but he's going to get in the way. He is 220, like we said. He's really strong, so you're not going to just drive right through him or back him into the paint. So I actually like the defense a lot more than you would think from a guy who has short arms and is not super athletic. Like, he's just going to be in the right spot every single time. He's just always going to be spaced correctly. He's going to close out. And like I said, the motor is stupid. The motor, VJ Edgecombe's motor's awesome. Cooper's motor's awesome. Kon Knueppel's motor is as good as anybody in this draft. He just does not stop. And it's like multiple actions. There are a lot of guys who will guard one action and they're like, well, I did my job. It's like he's chasing guys over screens. He's going to rebound. He's boxing out. He's tapping the ball. He's diving on the floor a lot. He's definitely dive on the floor guy. But he's saving basketballs out of bounds. Like, he's just a winner. It's just the easiest way to describe him. He's just a winning basketball player, and he's going to find ways to make an impact on the game on both sides of the floor. He's not going to be an elite defensive player, but he's going to find ways to make plays. And then offensively, I think his upside is absurd. I think he's just really going to be a really good player.
What I wrote here is that he's a really smart and even positive off-ball defender, but then the question marks come in when he's on the ball.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And I agree with you that he is going to get in the way. Like, I feel like even though he's not very fast, he's not very explosive, you would think with a player like that, he's just going to get first stepped all the way to the basket multiple times, but he's really good at cutting off. But I think when you're going against these ridiculously talented offensive players in the NBA, it's going to be a situation where maybe he does cut off that first move, but then he's going to get beat on that second move a lot of times.
Yep.
But I do agree with you. I think that he has that, we've said this name a lot, but that Joe Ingles effect where he's really smart on both ends, and that IQ is enough to make you at least average, passable, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. I'm totally agree with you. I think, and then I just think he's going to get stronger. I think that's going to become a strength, and he's just going to be a very high-level player for a long time. He's relatively safe, but it doesn't mean he doesn't have upside too. I think he's actually got real upside as well because, again, when he wasn't deferring to Cooper Flagg, which, again, is actually a green flag. No, not to use flag twice. It's a green light, whatever you want to say. It's a positive sign. He recognized that Cooper Flagg was the better player on the team, and he let Cooper Flagg be the better player on the team. And the second Cooper Flagg was out, he said, I'm the best player on the team. I'm going to take over the game. I watched the second half of the Georgia Tech game this morning. I'd watched the first half yesterday. If Cooper Flagg was not in college basketball, Cooper Flagg was never born. I think Kon Knueppel was the ACC Player of the Year last year.
Wow.
And I think he's in the running for Player of the Year in college basketball. I think he's that good.
Yeah.
I think he would have had a freshman season. We would have been talking about Kon Knueppel as a top 5 pick even without Cooper Flagg.
Okay.
I know some people would be like, well, he's playing off Cooper. And look, Duke's system is awesome. John Shire prepares guys for the NBA. They're running great stuff. He is being guarded by the second best player every time on the floor. That's a plus. That's a huge advantage. But he's a great college basketball player.
Yeah.
He's really good.